Hey everybody, and welcome back. So in today's video we are setting up for our budget for May. So this will show everything that we have planned and what our budget's going to look like. So we have our May budget kit here. This is 7 by 9. I do have 8.5 by 11, and they do pretty much fit in most planners. I did do a monthly view for the Budget Moms planner as well as the Happy planner, so it has a different little layout. But if you have a 7 by 9 or 8.5 by 10 planner, most of my stickers should fit in those size planners. Try to make them to where they fit and universally in all of them. So there's that. So we're going to go ahead and flip on over to our monthly view for May and walk through how we set up our budget to get it going for the new month. And dang it, it didn't save it. So okay, so this cut wrong once again, and I fixed it and it still cut wrong. Okay, I will do the monthly view later. I'll recut those and fix it. I don't know why it keeps doing that. I keep fixing it. Anyways, so on here we'll lay down our top headers here and our bottom ones down here. For this layout, we use this to track all of our expenses from our cash envelopes. So our groceries, our gas, spending, miscellaneous, and anything unbudgeted, we track in here. And then I also lay down the days that bills have been paid. That way we know they're taken care of and they're good to go. Any other days, we consider them no spends, and we'll put down a no spend sticker to represent those days that we did not spend any money. So that is what this sheet here for us is going to do. The next sheet that we like to use is this one here. We will set up our debt tracker and our transaction log with our debt tracker. I keep track of all of our payments towards our debt because we make multiple payments on our vehicles. We only have to do one a month, but I choose to break it in half and pay it every 2 weeks, or roughly every 2 weeks. That way it's being reduced. So we are just going to lay this out. I don't have the ending numbers because when I am recording this, the last payment for April has not completely cleared. So we're just going to go ahead and set this up and it's ready to go. So when they do clear, I can put the numbers in. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 debts that we are working on. Our primary ones that we are focused on is definitely the cars and getting them taken care of and paid off. And then next will be student loans if it doesn't get cleared out, and then it will be medical. So medical does not have any interest being attacked to it or anything like that, so that one there we don't have to make any payments on. I just keep track of it so that way I know what we're sitting at, so when we start back when we finish paying off our other stuff, I can tackle that one as well and getting all of that taken care of. So there is what our debt tracker is going to look like, and we're going to pull out some of our thin washies here. So I have 3 different kits. So I have a solid, the blue floral, and then the yellow floral one here. So I think we're going to use the blue floral to kind of pull this one in a little bit. So we don't have many transactions. Usually we have about 4 to 5 depending on how many weeks in the month and if we're paying on student loans for that month or not. So just varies. But this is our transaction log. Only thing left to do now is to draw in our lines. That way it's ready. So let's grab that in really fast. So when we have the date, the amount, which student loan or which debt that we're paying on, and then the description. So sometimes in the description I'll put how much is going towards interest and how much went towards principal, so I can kind of keep a mind on that. But our debts that we do have is the Highlander, then we have the Camaro, student loans, and medical. So those are the 4 debts that we have right now. All right, so that's what this sheet looks like. We're flipping on over. The next layout that we will do will be our paycheck breakdown here, and then we do our monthly budget on this side. So those are the next 2 that we're going to tackle. We're going to use this pretty floral thick washi here as the top, at the top. on both sides. I try to make the pages match up when it comes to looking at them like this. All right, so there's that. So I'm gonna lay down a few of these budget breakdown strips. Oh, such a hard word for me to say, I swear. And then we're gonna actually do the budget side first, just because I want to make sure y'all understand how we set ours up, because it is a little crazy because we are a month ahead on our bills and expenses. So the income from May has actually already fully funded all of our bills. For the income we had come in for May or April fully funded our May bills, and our income for May will fund our June bills. So it gets a little crazy. So I just want to make sure y'all follow along with that. So let's do our budget side first. Starting in May, we're back down to James's paycheck, me doing Herbalife, which is working at the nutrition club, YouTube, Etsy, and doing any DoorDash for the month is what comes for mine. And then other is anything else outside of that that may come in. Refunds or like returns, if we sell anything like that is where other will sit. Usually we don't have anything, some months we do. So we just keep it as a placeholder just in case. So we have James, we have Mel, and other. All right, so those are our 3 sources of income that we're expecting. All right. So this month is actually a 4-week, we'll get paid 4 times this month. James gets paid every Friday, so we count it by that. And we estimate his checks to come out to about $2,800 for this month. I want to say it. Yeah, so, and then for myself, I'm expecting about $400. I know I've already gotten my check from the nutrition club, so that'll be able to put towards the first week in May. And then for other, we don't expect anything. If it shows up, it shows up. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But in total, that gives us $3,200 to work with for our paycheck breakdown. So that is what we look at. All right. In my budget kits, I have it to where you can do all of your expenses and list them straight down and budget out how much you were budgeting and how much was actually spent. Or you can split it up with your fixed ones that are always the same, constant every single month, or your variables that kind of fluctuate up and down. So I use the fixed and variable. So we're going to start on the fixed side here. First up for our fixed amounts is our cars. So a total between both vehicles is $920. Our rent is lower than most people's. I know I have so many questions on how our rent is so low. I do have, my father is my landlord, so he charges us $600 in rent. Then we have Allstate. He actually charges us $800, but we maintain the yards, so he reduced it because there's 3 yards that we keep up with. Then Allstate is our insurance company, so that's $292. That it's got 3 vehicles and 2 drivers on it, which is why it is a little bit more. The Camaro definitely jumped it up, so it will come back down eventually, but right now that is what we're sitting at. Power, we do have it on budget billing right now, and it comes in at $191. Then we have cell phones. So we currently pay $166. We did pay off James's cell phone, so his is fully paid off. We're working on paying on mine, and then our lines is all you have on there. Then we have internet, which is $66 a month. Next up, we have student loans. We account for it each and every month. We put $60 into it, but we haven't paid on it since January, I believe, this year. So we've just been kind of adding it up, waiting to see what's going to happen with student loans. So there's that. And then lastly, for our fixed side, we have pest control, which is only $33 a month. And I probably will never stop using pest control. It is absolutely amazing. So let's lay down our total strip for this side. So total fixed amount is $2,328 for the month. So not too bad. These are already fully funded, and I do know that. The money is in the account to get them paid. So they will be taken care of as soon as the bill is either available or comes out. So we're good on that. Now moving on over to our variable side here. All right, so we're gonna take the ruler so we don't write too crooked. Okay, so variable side, we first have our water. It fluctuates depending on the usage for the month. Then we have groceries. So we budget the same amount each month, but it doesn't always either spend that much or we spend more. So we put it on the variable side. The same with gas. We have spending. Miscellaneous. Sinking funds. Savings. Debt. The cushion for us is leaving a little extra in our account to cover anything that may be over or we need to use like our card for, because we don't have the sinking fund with us. And then we have unbudgeted, which we hope to not have unbudgeted, but you know, life happens and things come up. So unbudgeted. All right. So we're going to lay down our total here. All right. Go ahead and draw in the lines so that way we see how much room we have. All right. For the water, we do budget $80. For groceries, we budget $600. It's $100 per person in our household, starting at $300 for a household of two. That is Jordan Page's Fun Cheaper Free kind of motto. And it pretty much works really well for us. Here lately, the past several months, I have actually went and did a full meal plan for the month and picked up everything we needed that won't go bad before the end of the month, and then split up what we had remaining per week. So try not to go over that. And that's been working. Another way that we used to do it is to split this amount by how many weeks there are in the current month and use it. Try not to go over that amount. That worked very well as well. So there's two options, trying to stay within your grocery budget. And if you go like Sam's Club, I know they do the scan and go, so you can walk through the store and scan it and keep an eye on your total. Shopping online, you can see it, especially like Walmart.com. You can see your total there and kind of pull it out if you don't need it. Costco, I don't think they have an app. I don't shop there, so I'm not really 100% sure. But those are a few ways to help make sure you stay on your budget and don't go too crazy. But those few things have definitely helped. Gas, we budget $400. There are some months we use between $300 to $400 depending on where the prices have been at for the month, if they're up or down. I have a feeling starting in May they're going to start going up going into the summer months, so we will see where it sits at. For spending, we were able to set aside $100 in May for us to have for spending, which means I will have $50 and James will have $50 for the entire month, and that'll be it. And that's just how it goes. Then we have miscellaneous, which we were able to fund at $50 and have that fully funded. That's the amount that we usually set aside for miscellaneous. Anything that comes up that we don't consider unbudgeted or anything like that, we try to use miscellaneous first. So now for sinking funds, savings, debt, cushion, those depend on what we actually are able to set aside in the month of May. So we don't budget anything for these. Those are depending on what extra comes in. So that's just kind of our overview here. And I did not add up this side, so let's add up this side really quick. So that is 10, 11 plus 80 plus 50. So 1,230 on our variable side. So we'll see what the actual amount is at the end of the month. All right, now to flip on over, we are going to take our income amounts from our budget here. So we have the same income. So James was at 28. Mel at 400. And then other at nothing. So those are our numbers that we're working with to figure out our paycheck breakdown for May. Have this one. All right. So we are using the one that has 4 paycheck 1 through 4, because there are 4 paychecks this month. We also have 1 through 3 and 1 through 5. So depending on how many times you get paid throughout the month, depends on which kit you might need. But that's just the one that we use. All right, so now on this sheet here is where we list all of our expenses, and I try to do it from our highest expenses all the way down to our lowest, to our ones that we can or cannot fund depending on how much income we had. They are not going to be like crazy, but we make sure we take care of the bills and like groceries and gas first before anything else. All right, so let's take a look at what we have for expenses. So first expense that we have that's our highest is cars. Then we have our rent. Then we put groceries, gas, Allstate, which is insurance. Utilities, we lump together power and water in this one. And then for AT&T, it's our cell phones and internet. They are 2 different bills, but they're both AT&T. Then we have student loans, pest control, miscellaneous, spending, sinking funds, savings, debt, and then the cushion. All right, so those are all of our expenses that we have for the month. So let's lay down our strip here. And I always try to, at least if I can, leave one line in case I've forgotten something, which definitely happens every now and then. So it's better to be safe and lay down for an extra line. We are also going to go ahead and draw in our lines before we start writing in numbers on the bottom part. I actually did a pretty good job of lining these up this time. Some months I'm good, and then some months I'm off from the top to the bottom. Perfect. All right, so for our budget amount for cars is our total up here, $3,200. So this number here is the minimum amount of income we are expecting. We cannot go over that number. So taking a look, we start with all of our bills first and fund them fully up and see what's left over. So cars is getting the $920. Rent will get it $600. Moving on down to Allstate because it's our next bill, which is $292. Utilities at $280. AT&T at $232. Student loans $60. pest control is $33. So those fully fund all of our bills and expenses. We do still have money left over, so we're going to put those towards groceries and gas next. So for groceries, we have enough to put $483 in groceries and $300 into gas. So we hope that we have more income come in so we can fund these up more to where we are comfortable with, which was $600 for groceries and $400 in gas. But hopefully we can manage the $300 for gas, if anything, and we'll throw that extra towards groceries and get that funded up closer to that $600 amount. But this here does total us to our $3,200 for the month. So the rest of these we aren't expecting to put anything in. If we have the extra money to apply it to those, we definitely will do so. So that is what our paycheck breakdown is going to look like. So we're going to take our yellow here and we're going to lay down some washies and get those kind of more fun looking and not so business look. So we'll lay some yellow in here, get a mix. Yellow on the middle there. And then I think I'm going to take the yellow polka dotted ones here to go on the bottom. Kind of mix it up. Okay, so that is what our paycheck breakdown and May budget is looking like. Flipping on over, we have 2 more kits that we are going to set up for this plan with me. So we have our weekly check-in, which we use this each and every week to check in and see what we have spent, how much we have remaining, and if we're going to make it for the month. If not, we need to make a few adjustments so that way we are definitely good to go. So, and then we do a transaction log so we can track all of our transactions so we know exactly where they went in a vertical format this way. You don't have to do this. I just like doing it because it's easier to look at instead of flipping back and forth from your monthly view. And then you can color coordinate them with the highlighter so you know exactly when you're looking at it how many transactions you have, and think about reducing your trips to the grocery store, stuff like that. So many options there. All right, so on this one here, we are just going to lay out all of our stickers for this kit, and then I will draw in the lines, and then off camera, I will write in my categories. For our weekly check-ins, we do our groceries, gas, spending, miscellaneous, and unbudgeted. So there's 5 that we check in for just to keep us on track and on our toes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to lay down the rest of these, and then I will be right back. All right, so there is our weekly check-in and transaction log set up, ready to go. We'll just write in our categories and this will be completely ready. So once we start making transactions in May, we can add them here. So our last setup that we are doing will be our sinking funds. Now, sinking funds have been a game changer within our budget. Using sinking funds over the past several years now has definitely opened our eyes on where our money is going, what we're spending it on, and stuff like that. But it's been able to help us save a little bit at a time for things that we know we have coming up, like once a year bills that come through, or birthday parties, Christmas, all kinds of different things. So absolutely, I love having sinking funds. We actually used birthdays quite a lot last month. If you didn't see that video, you check out my May results and you'll see all the transactions we had for the month of May. So much fun. All right, and then we also do a transaction log to keep track of what we spend the money on, so that way we know what categories were used and how much is going to be left over. So now that we have those, we are going to put in our categories. I definitely try to keep these in alphabetical order. It makes it a little bit easier to look for and know exactly where they're at. And I also have them in order that way in my 52 agenda for that. So we have alphabetize them to make it easier. All right, and there's that one. So this side is completely done. So now we're just going to do our sinking fund side, and then our budget for May is set up, ready to go, and we can get it going as soon as we have our first things happening. So categories. We have Alexis. We have anniversary. Then we have birthdays, and this is for everybody, so it's kind of a revolving money in, money out when birthdays come around for that one. Then we have Bubba. So all of the ones that have my kids' names on them are for any activities they want to do, sports, dance for Alexis, whatever it may be. We're wanting to set money aside, make sure they have something that they want to start into or whatever. Then we have car maintenance, which isn't obvious. It maintains the car, funds all that stuff for anything we need. Then we have car taxes, and I have so many questions all the time for car taxes. So in South Carolina, we have to pay a yearly car taxes bill. Every other year, they attach a tag renewal fee to it, so it goes up and down every other year. With that being said, this year, I don't remember if our cars are getting renewals on it or not, so we'll see when they come due, because I want to say I should get my bill in May for June's renewal. So I want to say it's June, July. If not, it's July, August. I know they're back-to-back months, so we'll see how much it totals for that. And that's our main focus for this month is car taxes, $650, and then I should be good to go and start working on other ones. So then we have Christmas. Clothes, which is for everybody, whatever they may need. We have family fun. We have gifts. Holiday. Lawn, so this will be for anything, getting the grass cut and stuff like that for gas or cord or whatever James needs to get the lawn care taken care of. Then we have medical, which I think I might do away with medical because we've had the health savings account that we have been, James's check has been going to, so we've been using that and we haven't really needed much. So I might get rid of that after this month. Been thinking about it. Then we have myself, and this here is what I have left over from my personal spending each month. It usually goes towards my next hair appointment and covers my cut or color or whatever I'm having done that time. The next year is probably just going to be cuts again because I just got color done and it's been lasting a while. I love my stylist that I've been going to see. Then next we have pets. We do have 2 dogs and they are big and in charge. The next up we have Phoenix. Our Sam's Club renewal membership for there. We just renewed it in February, so this will go towards 2024's renewal. We have school, anything back to school supplies, throughout the year stuff, all of it covers underneath school. Then we have Stephen. Then vision. And utilities. Which utilities is unique. I haven't actually added any money to this because we got that budget billing done. So only time I add money to this if water is under what I budgeted for it is when money gets put into that one. So, and that hasn't happened in a little while, which is fine. But, all right, so those are all of our categories for sinking funds. So we're going to lay down our total here and then write in what we're sitting at the start of the month. We just did our closeout, so we have all fresh numbers. So let me draw in the lines really fast. So this here, we only add to this if there's extra money from within the month. So we don't always get to add to every single one of these categories. I try to make sure I figure out which ones are the most important that's coming up. So right now our main focus will be card taxes, just because that is a large amount and we need to make sure that is funded. And then after we fully fund that, we'll pick the most important one next and work on it a little bit, and maybe even throw some towards some of the other ones that need some love or a little bit added back into them. So that's just ours. You don't need this many sinking funds. You can literally start with, like, if you're a Christmas person and you don't want to go into debt doing Christmas, do Christmas and birthdays if you have multiple people in your household for birthdays. If you have kids and you want to make sure you're ready for school stuff, set up a school one. You don't need this many. You can literally start with 1 sinking fund, 2 sinking funds, and go from there. So especially after you start paying off debt, and you can add more into some of your fund categories, sinking fund stuff. So, but it's definitely helped. So Alexis has 738. Anniversary has 100. Our anniversary is not till October, so we have a little time to try to get a little bit more in there. Birthdays, we have 82. For Bubba, there is 200. Car maintenance, there's 70. For car taxes, we have 424. Christmas has 281. Clothes, we are actually nothing. Family fun has 46. For gifts, we have 85. Holiday has 10. Lawn has 25. Medical doesn't have anything. Mail, which is mine, has 13. Pets is wiped out right now. Phoenix has 200. Sam's Club has 100. School has 119. And then Steven has 200. Vision has 310. Utilities has 55. All right, so that does total us to $3,058 in our sinking funds right now. Last month, I think we spent a total of like about $800 from our sinking funds. So we'll see how much we spend this month. I'm not sure what all's going to happen. We never know. We just kind of play it by ear and see how we do. But let's do a flip through really fast. So I'm going to redo the monthly plan with me, or monthly view here, and get that one. So we have our debt tracker and transaction log set up. We have our paycheck breakdown and our May budget, our weekly check-in and transaction log, and then our sinking funds and its transaction log. So that is every kit that we set up in the month of May for our budget stuff. I really hope that y'all enjoyed this monthly, or this budget plan with me, budget setup. So I really hope that y'all enjoyed this budget setup for the month of May. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed. If you want to make sure you are subscribed, if you're not seeing my videos pop up, recheck and make sure that button is still hit. But I really hope that y'all enjoyed, and I can't wait to catch y'all in my next video. Bye bye now.